Hello everybody and welcome to Clydebridge Station. Now in this video I'm going to be starting a project to completely renew the street scene. Now that does not mean completely replacing the buildings. What it does mean is completely renewing the pavements and the roads. Because let's face it, this balsa wood and the way I've cut it, it just doesn't turn out very good. So what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 videos at least is that I'm going to start on this end of the street scene, and this is all going to come up, as you can see, and then these buildings will come off, and I've taken a photo of their position and I'll just place them down here. This will come off, that's coming off, and what I'm going to do is give this a paint over using gloss paint and shaper sheet plaster, leave it to dry, and then I'm going to start putting some scale model scenery stuff down in here. And this time we're going to be using scale model scenery pavement kits, which actually include curves. There is going to be a little change to this as well, because there was one layout that emailed that mentioned me in the last video I'd done, and they were on about the size of their lanes. I think it's Stockton Junction, and they said that usually about 4 centimetres a lane is round about the sort of average size per lane on a road on a model railway 00 gauge. To give myself a little bit of space at the Quadrant Park nightclub, because you could see there it's a bit tight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this pavement so it probably comes up to around about here instead. Once I've got that done, that should give me enough room at the Quadrant Park nightclub, and I'll make that road probably going in the same angle as it currently does. So my first task is to take the pedestrians off, get the buildings off, and then we'll have a look at what we're going to do next. There we go, so that's what it's like with the buildings off. And I've obviously got to get this one off, which I'll do next. One thing I forgot to mention as well is I'm going to be completely renewing the scatter material here on beyond the wall. How that'll be done is I'll be getting all of this off, and I've got some filler. And what I'll do with that is I'll actually be putting the filler on beyond the wall bit, and then I'll be, I won't smooth it down, I'll smooth it down a bit but not properly, and then we'll paint it with that stuff, and that's the colour I'm using. Let that dry, and then I could start putting the scatter material and foliage down. So we'll get this up now. This was done with little pins, so I'll need to take that off carefully and then start removing the road surface. So there we go, that's it drying now. You'll notice I haven't went the whole way in because a lot of that's going to be covered over with the pavement, so there was no point in going the whole way in, and a lot of this is going to be covered over with the wall and the foliage. Notice also we've got this little problem here, for instance. That'll be resolved with the filler that I'm going to be putting on later on. Now to make the pavements, I'm going to be going back to my old trusted friend, Scale Model Scenery. And it's slabbed pavements and manholes in light grey, and the product number is Kilo X-Ray 023-00. Basically this is 00 gauge slab paving. The instructions, there we go, tells you what the instructions are. One little thing I will actually say to you right now is do take your time with this, and especially if using a craft knife. Justin Noble was recently building something, a platform, and one of the company's demonstration videos that's on YouTube, and he actually managed to cut his finger. So Justin, for the benefit of everybody, I'm putting a link up there, and it's about, I think, 35 minutes in. Please don't go and do what he done. These are the textured wraps, straights and manholes, and then we've got additional slabs which I will be needing. And this is your straights and this is your curves. And it's I believe it's 2 layers. It's something similar in the way to how I built the wall, or the departures board. You just have to glue 2 together using rocket card glue. Oops, wrong instructions. There we go. Cut out required base layers. 2 sections are required for each straight length. Now, one thing I will actually have to do as well is actually measure the length of the Quadrant Park nightclub, because that'll actually give me an indication of how wide I need to make the pavement. Hopefully it won't be as any wider than this. And what I'll do is I'll actually measure that up now and just see how far it comes out. Once I've got that done, we'll get back out here and we'll have a look again at where we are. Well, that's me just glued the first bit of a pavement section together using 2 of them, and I've used rocket card glue. Although it's not marketed as super glue, you should treat rocket card glue as if it is like super glue, because it will bond this stuff together literally in seconds. Now, the kit here has quite a lot of bits, and we'll put that one to the side the now. I've put it on a bit of the street scene now where I haven't painted. To glue this stuff together, this is the stuff rocket card glue. Again, I've got it from Scale Model Scenery, but I think lots of local model shops should sell it. You just put it on, see, like that. A bit of joined up writing. I'll just put that back up there and press down on it. Make sure that it is well aligned. And see, you'll see that some of the glue will ooze out. You get a couple of seconds literally to actually get it sorted together. That. It'll take a few minutes to dry. Give them a few minutes to dry, and then we put the pavements on. And it's the same sort of procedure as to building the other stuff. The only changes are that you've got curbstones, etc. And once they're dried, I'm going to actually measure them up against the Pickwick Books building and possibly the Quadrant Park nightclub, although I want to do a little bit more work on the quad as well. I want to put some doors on, so some spare stuff might actually be useful here. But we're getting underway with the street scene now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave part 1 of this video, and the next video you see will be part 2, where we'll be looking further on at the laying of the pavements. And if I bring this up here, that just gives you a little idea of where we're at right now. And that cocktail stick is where I want the pavement to roughly end. I might give a little bit of give and take there, but that's roughly where I want it to end. So this road should be dry but a bit rough when you next come back. That's how I want it to be, and then we'll get on with making the pavements further. So I'll see you for part 2, and in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.